Hello and welcome to Aquanita 24/7. I'm Jamie Rogers. Aquanita Racing is a unique business model within the racing industry where it provides world-class facilities and support services to their trainers to enable them to concentrate on the racing careers and welfare of the horses in their care. Essentially, Aquanita is a one-stop shop providing exceptional services under the one roof. One of the most vital of such services is Aquanita's veterinary practice with Dr. Mike Tweedie at the helm. The veterinary practice, located within Aquanita's Caulfield stables, provides clients with top quality care using the latest of techniques and equipment. Recently, I was privileged to spend some time with Mike as he took us on a tour of the practice and through one of the most common procedures carried out at the surgery, the endoscopy examination of the respiratory tract. Well, Aquanita's veterinary practice at Caulfield has some of the most advanced diagnostic and treatment equipment available to ensure that the horses are in the best of care. I'm here this morning with Aquanita's veterinarian, Mike Tweedie. Welcome, Mike, and thank you so much for your time this morning. Not a problem. Now, before we head inside to look at all the technology, can you give us a little bit of info about your background?
Yeah, I'm, as your accent can tell, not an Australian, born and bred in Northern Ireland, graduated from England, came out to Australia, and like a lot of people, met my future wife within a month of being here, so I've stayed ever since. I've been doing Aquanita's veterinary work initially over at Flemington when Robert was based at Flemington, and then since they've moved over here, I've been here. So I think I'm probably one of the longer serving employees. I'm about 11 years. I have my own clinic, and yeah, we provide veterinary services to Aquanita Racing.
Well, let's go in and have a look at these veterinary services now. Well, Mike, can you take us on a bit of a tour here of this practice, because it looks pretty interesting.
Aquanita Racing is one of the few racing stables in Australia. We've actually got a dedicated veterinary area within the stable. As you can see on the floor, we've got safety rubber for all the horses to protect them so they don't slip or fall. Also we have here, we call this a crush, and it's for horses to stand in, and it's for the safety of both staff and the horses, first allows to do some procedures. Within the room itself, we've got some equipment that stays here full time. In the corner, we've got our endoscope. With our endoscope, we just recently upgraded in the last 6 months, and we record all endoscopic examinations. So horses will routinely be scoped post last gallop before racing to ensure that there's no signs of tracheal mucus, which can be a respiratory infection brewing before it becomes a clinically sick horse. So we try and identify things before they become a problem. We also record all the scopes to monitor the function of the throat. We know racehorses can be prone to certain conditions of the throat that will affect performance. We record them, we store them over time, we can then look back over history. The other thing we have also is up on the wall we have our link to our database, veterinary database, so every horse that we're looked at, we can look at their full clinical history. And that's really important when we've got stables in Ballarat, Spelling Farm and Stonehenge Farm, and it's important to keep on top of what's previously been done to the horse so that we can follow up if there's any issues.
And who do we have here with us today?
We actually have the lead pony, and this probably sort of sums up the level of care that the horses get in Aquanita. The lead pony was found to be coughing this morning, so actually we'll do an endoscopic examination to check that he's healthy and safe and can continue to work. If there's an issue, we will treat it. So we're just going to perform an endoscope exam here. So with this here, we use a very small 9mm fibroscope, video fibroscope that goes up the nostril, and we look into the throat and then down into the trachea, close to the lungs. So most horses tolerate this relatively well. Some resentment when we first pass up the nose, but as you can see, they tolerate it very well. Now, if you look on the screen here, we have the throat. We're looking at the throat. The structure at the bottom of the screen looks like a tongue, is actually the epiglottis, and then the tube right in the center of the screen is actually the trachea. So at this stage here, they'll often swallow. It's a natural reflex. And so we pass this scope down into the lungs. all the way down. Right down into the bifurcation. So that's right into the lungs there. Horses will often cough when we do it, but they tolerate the procedure very well. Minimally invasive, and then we're back to the throat.
Have you been able to see from that why?
He's got a little bit of tracheal mucus. So sometimes tracheal mucus can be a sign of infection or can be allergic airway disease to dust. Similar, horses do get a condition we call inflammatory airway disease, which is equivalent to human asthma, and it's caused by dust. So we'll often with this horse dampen his feed, soak his hay before he's fed, and we'll monitor over the next few days.
Now, what do you do with all of the recordings once this is all finished?
With the recordings, they're all stored in a file for each horse. So each horse has its own digital file, so that if we notice something, if the trainers or the track work riders report the horse is making an abnormal noise at exercise or poor recovery, we'll go back and look through the history. Every time we do a scope, we grade the function of the larynx. So it's graded on a 1 to 4 scale, 1 being completely normal, 2 being slightly asymmetrical but full abduction. So that when we say full abduction, it means it can open right up and we can get full air into the lungs. Grade 3 and grade 4, we start to get into issues. So any horse that starts to head in that 3, 3.5, 4, will then start to follow up and look in their history. But we keep full records of every endoscopic examination. It's a standard procedure here to record the grade of the throat, and if there's any changes over time, we start to look back at those.
And if it is a 4, is treatment done here or do they go to Drysdale?
No, it's treatments, we refer those to a specialist surgeon for surgery. So our other role here is to liaise with specialists. So if we feel, we're very lucky in Melbourne to have several very good referral practices within driving distance. So we'll choose where we think is the best place. Everyone has a speciality. Everyone's a little bit better at something else. So we will, and we have a great working relationship with referring surgeons, both at University of Melbourne, Ballarat, Bendigo Equine, Golden Valley Equine Hospital. We utilise all their skills, and we feel that's where our role as stable veterinary surgeon is to liaise with them. So with the advent of technology and digitalization of everything, we have a digital x-ray machine, so we can within 5 minutes have a second opinion on a set of digital x-rays from a specialist. Same with an endoscopic examination. We can email them the video, let them have a look, see what they think. If we see something abnormal, and we get them involved in the case. And we think that's very important for the owner's perspective. They've invested a lot of time, money into their horses, so we ensure we get all the best information we can back to them to give them an informed decision.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time today. I'm sure we've all learned a lot. It's a very interesting side of Aquanita racing, and I know that all our owners will know that our horses are in great hands.
Not a problem, it's been a pleasure. And the one thing I'd say to any Aquanita owner is if they have a query or a question regarding the veterinary care of their horse, drop us an email, give us a ring. We want to talk to you. It's part of the service we offer.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Since launching Aquanita 24/7, we have aimed to share with you some wonderful behind-the-scenes stories, and we truly hope that you found our time with Mike as fascinating as we did. And now for the ones to watch over the coming week or so from the Aquanita stable, all powered by High Gain, feeding champion since 1983. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Aquanita 24/7. We will continue to keep updated on all the latest news from the trainers, stables, and of course the racers on our website aquanita.com.au. I'm Jamie Rogers. Bye for now.